Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back to the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Matt Coatney. It's that time. That time before every Husker game in which we take you through the entire conference. It's time for the Big Ten Blitz.
This is the Big Ten Blitz, Minnesota.
Here to talk about the Gophers, Andy Greeter of the St. Paul Pioneer Press. Minnesota had a bye week last week, 3-3 at the bye week. How did P.J. Fleck and the staff utilize their downtime? Did they do recruiting? Did they do self-analysis? What was last week like for them?
It was those two things, and it was also getting a jump on trying to beat Iowa for the first time as the head coach of Minnesota. Obviously, P.J. Fleck is 6-0 against Iowa, so they've been putting in some extra time to try and beat the Hawkeyes for the first time.
How healthy is this team? I know Lindenberg has been an issue with an injury on the defensive side of the ball. They've had some running backs that have been nicked up. How are they exiting the bye week and getting ready for this Hawkeye game on the injury front?
Yeah, they're not sharing much on Lindenberg's health. DJ said that he's closer. I don't know if that means he plays at Kinnick Stadium on Saturday. Obviously, Darius Taylor, who was a three-time Big Ten Freshman of the Week, he has a leg injury. He missed the last, I think it's 2 games. I think he's maybe closer to getting back as well. Obviously, if they get both of those players back, really their main injuries, if they're able to come back, that makes the outcome more likely to go in the Gophers' favor on Saturday.
And you mentioned PJ's lack of success against the Hawkeyes. How much does he hear about that from the boosters and just the general fan base of Minnesota?
Oh, it's everywhere. It's constant. He was asked how much it bothers him, and yesterday he said a little bit. And if you know PJ and how dry and sarcastic he can be at times, that can be translated into a whole heck of a lot. Obviously, it really bothers him. He understands the rivalries here in Minnesota. He's really had some great success recently to get on even playing field with Wisconsin. But Iowa continually is that bugaboo for him. They've had close games. They've had nearly moments, including last year where they had 2 late turnovers when they lost 13-10 in a bitterly cold game in Minneapolis. Obviously 2019, 2021. There are many games in this rivalry series that have been one-score games, and PJ has not been able to get over the hump.
Andy, I think a lot of us are just puzzled by how Iowa's doing it right now. They've got so many main injuries on that offense, and yet here they are 6-1. What are the keys for the Gophers in this one?
Yeah, obviously, limit explosive plays. Iowa was able to win at Wisconsin last week with a, whatever it was, 80-yard touchdown run and just some lights-out defense. So going to be limiting explosive plays, winning the turnover margin. Obviously, Iowa's offense is limited, but they're able to get pick sixes and fumble returns for touchdowns and special teams touchdowns. So it's winning the turnover margin and limiting explosive plays and creating your own explosive plays. And I think also just being willing to take shots, being willing to attack a defense downfield. I think Minnesota has the capability to do that. They've showed brief moments of having that ability. And in a rivalry game, they're going to need to do it for a full game.
Gophers at Iowa, 2:30 kickoff on NBC. Andy Greeter from the St. Paul Pioneer Press. Andy, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
This is the Big Ten Blitz, Michigan.
Here to talk about the Wolverines, Angelique Changelis of the Detroit News. Michigan with another methodical beatdown of a team. They take care of Indiana last week, 52-7. Angelique, I have to wonder if the team is a little bored. I mean, they have just been on a mission the first half of the season. What's your take on if this team's getting bored with what's been happening?
Well, I know that I've had to wake up a few times watching games. I mean, it's not very interesting. It is absolutely what you said, been very methodical in beating these teams. And, I don't think they are. I think that there is a freshness in this team, and I've been talking to them a lot about it because Jim Harbaugh is really focused on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practices and how crisp they've been. And I was asking Mikey Samerstill last night, one of the defensive backs, why that's the case. And he said it's because most of the ones and twos are coming out of games, they're not playing the fourth quarter. I mean, you see J.J. McCarthy's been sitting sometimes just before the end of the third. And he said that's really allowed them to stay sharp, crisp in these practices where they're really getting everything down in the game plan. And that has allowed them to really steamroll teams on Saturdays. And, you know, there might be something to that because these guys, I mean, talking to Blake Corum this week, too, his body is fresher. He's not getting the beating like he did last year. And I think that's all been very calculated by Jim Harbaugh this season.
Well, this week it's a rivalry game. Michigan State's on the schedule. Obviously, the Spartan program is in disarray right now. Has that diluted some of the excitement for this game?
It feels like it. It really does. And you know, I look at the secondary marketed tickets, and it doesn't seem like there's much movement there, and certainly prices are dropping. It is a night game. I think that there will be some excitement once you know, we get closer to kickoff. It's, you know, at 7:30, and they haven't had this game under the lights there, so that's a novelty. But it just doesn't feel like the buzz. Certainly not the same as it was 2 years ago when they were both unbeaten in top 10 programs, and what an entertaining game that was. So it feels so different than in 2 years. It's just hard to believe how different it feels.
Well, I'm sure a lot of Wolverines fans obviously will be invested in their game. They'll probably be really invested in the earlier game that day between Penn State and Ohio State, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know that Michigan fans wouldn't admit it, but I suspect they'll be rooting for Ohio State. I mean, that would benefit the Wolverines since they've got Penn State in November 11th, I believe, and then 2 weeks later they've got Ohio State in Ann Arbor. So I think that's definitely how the Michigan fans, are looking at that matchup, and I'm really eager to watch that one because in so many ways Penn State is similar to Michigan. I mean, both teams have held teams scoreless in the third quarter, and that's been a big topic of conversation here is how this defense under Jesse Minter makes adjustments in game, halftime. I mean, they're very quick to make adjustments, and Michigan right now is shutting out teams in the third quarter 93-0, I believe. So, but Penn State's right up there. So it's going to be really fun to watch those two teams and to get a little bit of a scouting report on both of Michigan's upcoming opponents.
Wolverines at Sparty, Michigan State, Saturday night under the lights, 6:30 on NBC Central Time. Angelique Changelis from the Detroit News. As always, we appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
This is the Big Ten Blitz, Illinois.
Here to talk about the Illini, Steve Kelly of the Illinois Network. Illinois with a nice road win last week over Maryland, 27-24. Steve, what switch did Brett Bielema flip? That was an impressive road win.
It was. I'm not sure many people saw that coming. Certainly the fans didn't, and I'm not sure that many of us in the media did either, because Maryland looked pretty good, although they got knocked around a little bit by Ohio State the week before after hanging with them for half the ball game. But we thought that Maryland would put up a lot of points, and the Illinois team got some people healthy that had been out along the offensive line. They did lose running back Reggie Love, who didn't play, but true freshman Caden Fagan had a pretty good ball game, 19 carries for 84 yards. And then they won it on a last-second field goal, as you know. So, yeah, it was big. We're now 3-4 with a chance to go to 4-4 ahead of the bye week. And I don't know what it is about it, but 4-4 sounds a lot better than 3-5.
No doubt. Well, this week it's Wisconsin, which obviously the underlying story is Brett Bielema facing his old school. Wisconsin got beat up literally and figuratively last week by Iowa, losing their quarterback. Give us some details on this matchup coming up this weekend.
Well, it's homecoming here at the U of I for the 113th time. One of the oldest homecoming celebrations in the country, actually. Wisconsin's still rated about a 2.5-point favorite. I thought that might come down a little bit with the news of Mordecai, the quarterback, being out, at least for this ball game, probably maybe even until very late in the season, or if not the whole season. So I think a lot of the folks following Illinois feel pretty good about this. The Illini spanked Wisconsin last year up there, and of course it was a different coaching staff and kind of a different team. But I think they're feeling pretty good about themselves going into this matchup. Wisconsin has dominated the series over the years. In the last 10, the Badgers won 8 of the last 10, but Illinois has that to win last year to kind of build on.
Steve, Illinois is one of the few teams without a bye at this point in time. How are they holding up through that? I'm sure they're really anxious to get to a bye week.
They are. It comes kind of late, but they get it next week. And they had some guys, as you know, that you saw them just not that long ago, a couple weeks ago, and they had some guys along the offensive line that were in and out. So I think it'll be good to kind of get the guys rested up, and some of the guys that have been out, maybe get them back. The line did give up 5 sacks last week to Maryland, but overall they protected Luke Altmaier, the quarterback, a little bit better, and he had 209 or 10 yards passing and a couple of touchdowns. So, yeah, I think that bye week is big. Got to get through this first, but this should be a pretty good football game, I'd say.
I would think so. Illinois hosting Wisconsin, 2:30 Central on FS1. Steve Kelly of the Illinois Network. Steve, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cornerstone Bank is committed to providing you game-changing solutions for your financial needs. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. The current time is 41 minutes after 1 o'clock Central here in Lincoln. The current temperature on a gorgeous day at Memorial Stadium is 71 degrees. I'm Matt Coatney in the Acres Broadcast Center, and the Big Ten Blitz continues.
Around the Big Ten, Wisconsin.
After a loss at home to Iowa last week, the Wisconsin Badgers are on the road to face Illinois. They'll have to do it, too, without starting quarterback Tanner Mordecai, who is out for this one after sustaining a hand injury against the Hawkeyes. Redshirt freshman Braden Locke is now at the top of the quarterback depth chart. He completed 15 of 30 passes for 122 yards with an interception after taking over for Mordecai last week. Now, Illinois actually beat the Badgers last season in Madison, but despite that setback, overall, Wisconsin has won 11 of the last 13 meetings against the Illini. Kickoff between the Badgers and Illinois set for 2:30 p.m. on Saturday. With the Badgers in Madison, I'm John Audius.
John, thank you very much. Let's take a look at games going on right now in the Big Ten. The big one in the early set of games. Number 7, Penn State at number 3, Ohio State at the Horseshoe in Columbus. The Nittany Lions came into this one having scored at least 30 points in 13 straight games, the longest active streak in the nation. However, Penn State hasn't beaten the Buckeyes since 2016 and haven't beaten Ohio State on the road since 2011. Additionally, Nittany Lions coach James Franklin is only 1-8 all-time against the Buckeyes. OSU started the scoring early on a Jaden Felding 33-yard field goal. Penn State tied it on an Alex Felkins 40-yard field goal late in the first quarter. Then the Buckeyes were the first team to get in the end zone.
McCord hands Williams left side behind Curry. Williams to the goal line, and he is stopped at the goal line. Now touchdown. Mayan Williams punches it in as he was stopped at first, but he kept chugging forward, a 2-yard TD run.
It's Paul Keels on the Buckeyes radio network from Learfield. The update now, they've got 2:12 left in the third quarter. Ohio State just called timeout. They went for it on 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. A swing pass to the right side, stopped by Penn State. So the Nittany Lions with a big hold. However, they've got 1st and 98 to go. Still a lot of time left in that one. They've got 2:12 left in the third quarter, and third-ranked Ohio State leads number 7 Penn State 10-6. Let's look at Rutgers at Indiana. The Scarlet Knights are searching for their 6th win of the season, which would make them bowl eligible for the first time since 2014. It was 14-7 Rutgers late in the second quarter. Then Indiana tied it up.
Here's the snap. They're going to give it. Nope, it's Sorsby going to carry it. He's going to go to the end zone untouched. Brendan Sorsby for the score, and Indiana is on the board and a chance to tie this ball game.
It's Don Fisher on Indiana radio from Learfield. Since that time, the Scarlet Knights have went on a big run. They have just scored a touchdown. They've scored 17 straight points, pending the extra point, which is up and good for Rutgers. They lead at 31-14, and they are late in the third quarter of play. I'm Matt Coatney in the Acres Equipment Broadcast Center at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. That's the Big Ten Blitz, and that will wrap up the Countdown to Kickoff show. The Matt Rule pregame show comes your way next.
Matt Rule pregame show is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative, helping Husker student athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more or to donate, visit 1890nebraska.com. Also brought to you by the NTOT. Buckle up.
Welcome back, Memorial Stadium. Today the Huskers get back on the field against the Northwestern Wildcats. Sometimes, Coach, you hit bye weeks and you're ready for them. Other times you get a nice uplifting win like Illinois and you maybe wanted to keep playing. I don't know how you feel about that, but what did you get accomplished the last 2 weeks?
You know, we got a lot of good work done, just kind of going back and studying ourselves. You know, in that first year, you get into the games, you start to see who can do what. You know, you don't really know your team until you play. And so we've tried to treat this like it's a second season. You know, the first season, the first 6 games, obviously we went 3-3. We had some good moments. We had some things we want to improve upon. Took the bye week to invest in the players, improve the players, let some of our older players, you know, rest up, though we did still work with them, but develop some of the younger guys, and then really look at, hey, what do we do well? What can we really focus on before getting into game week?
With the week off, did that allow a guy like Reimer to get back and be able to help you today?
Yeah, Luke was able to come back and do a little bit of limited work in the bye week. Hit the last day of the bye week and was full, and they will be full for game week. So excited to see him play. You know, unfortunate, but as I said to him, you know, maybe now he'll feel great these last 6 games starting today and go play the way we know he's capable of.
Husker Football brought to you in part by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com for all your truck, SUV, and electric vehicle needs. We've got more with the coach coming up next.
This is the Matt Rule pregame show, brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. You're listening to Big Red Football.
I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program. I'm recruiting for the team, and I want it to be the finest team in America. I'm looking for someone like you to be a teammate's mentor, someone who is willing to reach out to a child and make a difference. Meeting with a student once a week at school can make an impact in their life and in the community. We want you to join our team. Go to teammates.org to apply today.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town. Choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Is your garbage disposal not disposing? You had one job. Drains backing up can cause a horrible smell in a home, damaged pipes, and so much more. Some signs that your garbage disposal may be going out include frequent clogs, abnormal and louder noises than normal, or water is leaking from the bottom, just to name a few. John Henry's is here to take care of all the pipes and drains in your home. Call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
Hey Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
you can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
The 1890 initiative helping Husker athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more or donate, visit 1890nebraska.com. Huskers back in action today against the Northwestern Wildcats. Boy, what a wild, odd summer they have had. How much respect do you have for a guy like David Braun, who I don't know that you know very well at all, but for them to be 3-3 at this point seems pretty remarkable.
Yeah, obviously you see Coach Braun's body of work as a defensive coordinator at North Dakota State, and then what he's brought to Northwestern. He's obviously an excellent coach. But to take over a situation like he has, to keep that team together, to have a team that could come back against Minnesota down 31-10 in the fourth quarter and play for each other, I think it's really, really impressive. He's obviously an excellent coach, and I think anytime you look at the guys who are at North Dakota State, that's a culture of winning. He's maintained that, and they're playing for each other, which means it'll be a really tough team.
Let's talk about defense. That's where his expertise is. I like some of those linebackers, Gallagher, Mueller. Those guys can play some football. What about their personality on defense?
Well, they are aggressive. They're physical. They're not, at least up until this game, haven't blitzed a ton. They love to just sit there and play physical football. They're gonna attack you with their front. They're gonna play a lot of zone coverages, mix in some man, and they're not gonna give you the big play. They're not gonna let you hit the home run ball. You're gonna have to work for everything you get, and they're gonna tackle well and just try to win the physical battle.
They have had trouble defending the run. It's got to be a big part of the plan today, I would think.
Yeah, they gave up one long run against Howard that kind of skewed the stats in that game. Obviously we always want to run the football. It's our first goal. They've had a bye week. I'm interested to see what maybe they do differently. You look at them at North Dakota State, a little bit more pressure. Most teams blitz us. So we want to run the football, but we understand that this is one of those teams, like they're not giving anyone any quarter. They're going to come after us. I think it'll be a great four-quarter football game.
They've had trouble keeping their quarterbacks upright. They've given up a lot of sacks. Opportunities there for the black shirts.
Yeah, if we play well, they got behind some games and so had to throw it, so that affected them. And then Penn State's obviously a great defense. Penn State got to the quarterback a ton, but in that Minnesota game they were good. They were able to protect the quarterback. They were able to get back in the game. For us, our defense starts up front with the big guys. We have to rush the passer well and get to the quarterback.
Doesn't sound like Bryant may play in this game. Their starter. They may use different guys, and they all have a little bit different skill set, don't they?
Yeah, they all have the ability to operate their offense, and they all have the ability. There's some mobility there that Sullivan has, that Lausch has, that we have to be prepared for, because quarterbacks who can move change the entire equation. And we're not sure what we'll see. Coming off a bye week, they've already faked 2 punts this year, so they're playing to win the game. So it'll be a game to me of just adapting and just keep pounding the rock every rep we get.
This week's contestant for the Woodhouse block punt for a touchdown contest is Mary Wolfenoth from Lexington. If the Huskers block a punt returner for a TD, Mary could win a 2-year, 10,000-mile-per-year lease on a truck from Woodhouse. Go to woodhuskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and how to enter. A final thought from the coach coming up next
on the Huskers Radio Network. Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska. Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Hey, Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student-athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student-athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
This is Big Red Football.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace.
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing?"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Farmers Mutual Nebraska, experience the personalized difference when your insurance is kept local. Visit fmne.com to contact an agent near you. Celebrating the 100th anniversary today at the stadium. Huskers are going to have a little blue outline of their numbers. Huskers actually wore a blue uniform in the first game ever played at the stadium. I know you've only been here 11 months. Pretty cool place to come to work, though, isn't it? A pretty cool place to coach a game in.
Oh, my goodness. You know, obviously when you're coming in off of 180, or you first see the stadium, it's really something special, as you know. I think every morning that I come in, it kind of hits me a little bit. But you know, I love to walk out onto the concourse. I love to walk down to, I guess that would be East Stadium. I love to see the old facade. I love looking at the old team photos. Again, it just reminds you, sometimes we get so caught up in, this moment right now and what's going on in our lives. A lot of people have played on that field, have come through these halls, and so there's a true legacy that we want to live up to.
All right, final keys to the game in your eyes today.
Well, as I said, they're excellent. Third down, we have to win third down. We have to find a way to run the football. We're gonna have to get pressure on the quarterback. And for us, as always, if we win the turnover battle, and if we don't beat ourselves with penalties and turnovers, which I expect us not to do, then we'll have a chance to play a good game.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
Comments of the head coach of the Huskers. Nothing goes better with Husker Sports in Fairbury. Fairbury premium quality hot dogs deliver the home game experience to your family and friends. Fairbury, the official hot dog of Husker Nation. More pregame coming up next.
On the Huskers Radio Network.
Challenge. It's not something you shy from. It's a chance to up your game. Every day brings a new challenge. But with the enhanced Channel Seed brand on your side, you can rise to it. With our top-performing seed, innovative digital tools, and expanded agronomic support, you can turn tomorrow's challenges into your next advantage. Your enhanced Channel Seed brand. Let's rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town. Choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT. Official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Welcome back to the Acres Broadcast Center at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. I'm Matt Coatney. Let's take a look at the Sandhills Big Ten scoreboard update. The 1890 Initiative, helping Husker athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more or donate, visit 1890nebraska.com. There are a couple of Big Ten games already underway. 12 of the 14 Big Ten teams are playing conference games this weekend. Maryland and Purdue have the weekend off. Number 7 Penn State on the road, trailing at number 3 Ohio State 10-6. They're early in the fourth quarter. Rutgers is leading at Indiana 31-14, 11:23 to go in the fourth quarter of play. 2:30 p.m. Central, Wisconsin at Illinois. Minnesota at number 24 Iowa, also at 2:30 p.m. Central. And at 6:30 p.m. Central, number 2, Michigan at Michigan State. I'm Matt Coatney in the Acres Broadcast Center in Lincoln. Get ready, Nebraska. Greg Sharp, Damon Benning, and Jessica Cootie are all ready to go. Nebraska versus Northwestern. Husker football next.
The following is an exclusive presentation of the Huskers Radio Network.
The 31st head coach of the University of Nebraska's football program, Mr. Matt Rule.
It's time for Nebraska Cornhuskers football.
They fake the handoff. Trevor keeps it himself. Touchdown.
A new era begins in Husker football.
Touchdown, Nebraska.
I want to build a team that's tough. I want to build a team that's hardworking. I expect our guys to be tough. I expect them to work hard, and I expect them to compete. And I expect that because I and my staff will do the same thing every day.
It's time for the Pre-Kick Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
Bye weeks are as much a part of college football as marching bands and homecoming parades. Today, the Nebraska Cornhuskers and the Northwestern Wildcats resume their 2023 seasons, and both teams are in search of their 4th win of the year. Good afternoon from beautiful Memorial Stadium, which is celebrating its 100th birthday today. I'm Greg Sharp. The Huskers entered their bye week with a road win on a Friday night against Illinois. That game will be remembered for the goal line stand on the game's first drive. We might look back in a few months and say that was a turning point for the Huskers. Northwestern has had a crazy 6 months. Over the summer, longtime head coach Pat Fitzgerald was dismissed under allegations of allowing bullying in their locker room. Thrust into the head coaching position for the Cats was David Braun, who a year ago was the defensive coordinator at North Dakota State. Most felt like the Cats would be lucky to win one game. Well, here they are, 3-3, and setting their sights on a bowl game. Oh, it is a gorgeous day here in Lincoln. We're getting set for a Big Ten West clash between the Huskers and the Wildcats. And when we come back, we'll hear the thoughts of former national champion Damon Benning as pregame continues from Lincoln.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Pioneer is proud to partner with Iowa and Nebraska in the Pioneer Heroes game on November 24th. This coveted trophy game is about more than winning. It's about those in our local community who inspire us in our everyday lives. From the school bus driver to the volunteer firefighter, there are those that make a difference and, simply put, make our lives better. Every community has their heroes, and Pioneer is proud to honor those who stand as an inspiration to others in the Pioneer Heroes game.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. October is National Chiropractic Health Month. Regular chiropractic care has been a game changer for me, both during my career and still today. It's the recommended first treatment for chronic lower back pain over prescription opioids. It's natural, drug-free, and safe for all ages. Discover the difference of chiropractic care. Relieve, restore, resume your life. Learn more at nebraskachiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Matt Moorhead or Joanne Shamanek in Lincoln or Scott Jeffers in McCook today.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
There's only a few minutes left before Mom gets home and Dad needs a win.
He's had a long day, Mac.
Ugh, he certainly has. Will this All-Star deliver dinner on time, or will Takeout take the title?
Oh, look. He's changing up formation. What's he up to?
There's a snap. He's heading to the fridge. Something's happening.
He's going for it.
I can't believe it. Dad's got a bottle of Dorothy Lynch, and he's done it. The chicken, the salad, the veggies. He could go all the way.
Incredible flavor. Unbelievably easy. That's how you win with Dorothy Lynch.
There's room at the table. Add more dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From white corn to blue corn to organics, find the right fit for your operation. Now, for a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract a minimum of 50,000 bushels of value-added grain. Enter to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
This is Big Red Football.
Allergy season is officially here. Your home should be a place where you can escape dust, pollen, and other allergens. But every time you enter your home, you bring them inside. John Henry's offers numerous products to remove allergens and germs from your home. Call John Henry's today to learn more about our indoor air quality products to breathe easier in your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
Something big is happening. Introducing Hy-Vee Perks. Now, Hy-Vee Fuel Saver is Hy-Vee Perks. Get the same great benefits like fuel savings. Plus, save even more on hundreds of products store-wide with Hy-Vee Perks prices. Like Tide, H Perks price, $9.97. And bananas, H Perks price, 39 cents a pound. Make the switch or sign up for Hy-Vee Perks and start saving today. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Woodhouse Lincoln is bringing you the premium lineup of Lincoln SUVs. Shop all 4 models and be immersed in quiet luxury, craftsmanship, and state-of-the-art tech. Lease a 2023 Lincoln Corsair for $699 per month. Find us in store off 144th and Giles Road or online anytime at woodhouselincoln.com. 36 months for 10,500 miles per year with approved credit. Tax, title, license extra. Security deposit waived. $1,500 down plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires October 31st, 2023. See dealer for details.
You'll be seeing us around soon, and when you do, I bet you'll call us BMO. Don't worry, it's more common than you think, but we actually pronounce it BMO. As in, with BMO, you can earn a cash reward every month you save. Or, did you know BMO's been helping customers for over 200 years? So when you do see us, pop in and say hi. Not to BMO, to BMO. And yes, bank is still pronounced bank. Learn more about us at BMO.com. BMO. Conditions apply. Accounts are subject to approval and are provided in the United States by BMO Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Lincoln. Matt Coatney with you, and it's time now for our BMO fan of the game. And joining us today in the broadcast booth are the BMO fans of the game. Josh Alspaugh and his wife, Courtney, are also here with their friends Matt Raleigh and Ben Cooper. Josh is a co-owner of Alspaugh Roofing, a family-owned and operated Nebraska small business founded in 1991. You've been a longtime customer of BMO. Tell me a little bit about what Alspaugh Roofing does.
Alspaugh Roofing is a local-owned, family-owned roofing company founded by my father in 1991. We provide residential roofing services, also with gutters and siding.
You know, it's reading your biography here, I found it pretty interesting that you really weren't going to get into this. You were going to be a paramedic, and it's a good thing you were going to do that because that's how you found this lovely woman here, right?
Yeah, I actually went to paramedic school, got my associate's degree in paramedicine, and got recruited by my dad in the year of 2015. And he just told me, hey, if you want to take it over one day, we'll start working, and just kind of fell into it. Still worked as a paramedic on the weekends for the city of Plattsmouth as a 911 paramedic. That's how I met my wife. I met her at the ER in Bellevue, dropped her patient off to her, and the rest was history.
Well, your dad should have been recruiting for the Big Red. He did a good job recruiting there, it sounds like. You also offer discounts for first responders, military, healthcare providers, and educators. I'm sure you have a great respect for first responders, obviously, with your background, but that's really great that you guys do that for doing discounts for those kinds of folks, because they, you know, they do amazing things for folks also. So it looks like you're giving back to the community a little bit.
Absolutely. We want to give back to the people that give to our community as well. So if we can help to those, who help our community out, and we can return the favor in helping with those discounts with sometimes a bigger, invoice or a bigger project, it would definitely help out families in need and try to just be a really good part of the community like they have been to us and the rest of our community around us.
Certainly sounds like it. You've got 2 young daughters. Are you raising them to be Husker fans also?
Oh, yeah. There's no other way. We have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, Mara Quinn and Murphy Joe.
Oh, that's wonderful. You guys must be busy then. Who's your favorite all-time Husker?
All-time Husker?
Yeah.
Nate Swift is up there.
That's a good choice.
Or Alex Henry.
Oh, my goodness. I love it when special teamers are on there. Well, thank you for being our BMO fans of the game with Josh Allspaw, with Allspaw Roofing here today, and with everybody here. Can I get a Go Big Red from the Peanut Gallery back here? Everybody lean in here. 1, 2, 3.
Go Big Red!
Thanks again to the Jeff and Courtney Allspaw for joining us today as the BMO fans of the game. Matt Coatney with you. Now let's send it back to Greg Sharp.
All right, thank you, Coach. Hope those folks have a great time today. They have a beautiful day to be here to watch a Big Ten West matchup, Nebraska and Northwestern. The battle of venues here today. Delighted to be joined once again in the booth by Damon Benning. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah, it's good to be seen. I always enjoy it, so it's a good day for me in the old Benning household.
All right, bye weeks. You come off of those. Sometimes that makes coaches nervous. Both of these teams are coming off of that. What are you expecting to see here today?
Yeah, so I think for Nebraska in particular, they want to continue the upward ascent that they were kind of on going into Champaign. They wanted to be a team that was physical and practice with toughness, and I think they picked up on that over the bye week. They had some good, tough, physical days, and I think for Coach Rule, they want to embrace the opportunity to send a message. I think he wants them to understand fully that this is a game in which if they do what they're supposed to do, they have a chance to look really good doing it. Embrace that. Don't run from it. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it.
A lot of talk about the wide receivers. I mean, obviously the injury to Marcus Washington in the Illinois game just adds to the losses on that side of the ball to IGC and then Betts leaving the team in August. But here's a chance for Jalen Lloyd, for Malachi Coleman, for Jaden Dost to get some significant playing time and have an impact on this team. What's going through their mind, do you think, right now?
Well, I can tell you, and I just talked to Jalen this week when he popped up on his off day, and he's going to embrace the opportunity. He's looking forward to it. He likes the opportunity to win a job. He's highly competitive, and I think Malachi and Doss look at it the same way. You know, Malachi coming off a game in which he had 50-some-odd snaps, kind of pressed into duty in Champaign. So I think he's looking to kind of evolve in that role. And for them, Coach Rule, he gave him the go-ahead, right? He said the time is now, and here we go.
I've always said when you're on scholarship, you're here to play.
Yeah.
So when it's time, go play.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that one. And I think that's what they're going to do, and they're going to enjoy today. You get to kind of have a breakout opportunity in front of your home crowd, and I think that'll be fun for them.
Still think this team knows they want to run the football, shorten the game a little bit, dominate the line of scrimmage. But fumbling has been an issue, and it popped up again for Anthony Grant in Champaign. And so we may see more of Emmett Johnson today. What did you see from Emmett when he got a couple carries against the Illini?
A lot more decisive, right? It wasn't, it didn't pop off for huge yardage, but I felt like him committing to runs and committing to holes is part of the evolution of a young running back, right? Not trying to do too much with it. And so, for EJ, it's a guy that they've been high on for a long time. They were going to introduce him in the special teams area because they like the ball in his arms in the open field, and he'll have every opportunity today to kind of at least make it intriguing to see what happens in that backfield going forward. And this time it's not going to be due to injury.
We'll get more on that from Jessica here in just a little bit. Let's flip sides of the ball. Tony White's defense has been dominant, held Illinois to 21 yards on the ground. You're facing a Northwestern team that doesn't run the ball that well. We do know Ben Bryant will not play today. He's on the availability report as being out. So we think we may see a couple of different quarterbacks for the Wildcats. How about the plan today for Tony White?
Yeah, you just can't let Cam Porter get going. He's probably the most consistent and proven offensive commodity, and you want to make it hard on whomever takes snaps. Zelensky has only got one pass attempt on the year, and Sullivan has struggled a little bit. And so if you're Nebraska, you want to continue to try to make Northwestern one-dimensional. not only do they not run it well, they don't attempt a lot of runs. Now, some of that is due to not having the football, but it's not something that they've been very proficient at, and you don't want to be the medicine for what ails that Northwestern offense today.
Third member of our broadcast team, Jessica Cootie's been down on the sidelines watching the Huskers warm up. They've huddled up there, about ready to go back in for some final words in the locker room. Jessica, what observations did you have down there?
Well, I guess one of the first things that caught my eye is when the Huskers ran out and they had that blue outline on those numbers, and then some of them even wearing blue gloves, a throwback to that first game that was ever played here inside this stadium. The Huskers had to wear blue jerseys because against Oklahoma to let them, the visiting team, wear their red. So a little bit different look there with those blue gloves and the blue outlines. But watching some warm-ups, great to see Luke Reimer back out here. It was weird not even having him on the sideline. You know, even when he's been hurt throughout his career, he's been over here on the sideline, been a coach over here on the sideline. So not even having him there at Illinois was a little bit weird. So great to see him back and again having a conversation with Coach Rule just there before the team went back into the tunnel into the locker room, and Coach Rule saying this week that he is the voice. So I know the Huskers are glad to have him back. Big thing here, I was watching the team offense warm-ups, and when they were going through some of those first plays, taking the number 1 snaps was indeed Emmett Johnson. Josh Fleeks took the number 2 snaps, and Anthony Grant took those number 3 snaps. So as you just talked about, very good chance we'll see a heavy dose of Emmett Johnson and Josh Fleeks here today.
Jessica, thank you. All right, former running back.
That's tough.
What do you think of that?
I mean, all actions have consequences, right? Some of them are good or some of them are bad, and you just got to ask yourself, can you live with them? And I think for him, they sent the message. You could tell the vibe kind of in the press conferences that it may be tough sledding, and he had a job to win again if they were going to trust in him. And listen, you got to take care of the football. I told Jessica in the pregame, there's a reason there's only 1 ball out there. You got to value it.
Reimer is back. I know you and Ben had John Bullock as your game changer. Nick Henrich has played really well. He's bounced back nicely from that injury. So you just get one more nice big body and a guy who can play really good football.
And that's tailor-made for the way that this game may go today. A little smash mouth and a lot of downhill run game. There won't be a lot of trickeration or anything to that. What you see is what you're going to get. So you got to hit it and split it. And that linebacking core is prepared for it today.
Huskers and Wildcats, they both have retreated to the locker room. The pride of all Nebraska, the Cornhusker Marching Band, about to entertain the crowd here before the start of this game. We'll take a break, come back, give you the starting lineups. Get you closer to kickoff for the Huskers and the Cats. That's coming up next.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Experience a redefined car buying experience with Woodhouse Mazda. Visit the Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers and explore our exceptional lineup. Take advantage of our current offers happening now, like 2.9% APR for 60 months on all 2024 Mazda CX-5 Turbo models. Start your journey with us online at WoodhouseMazda.com or WoodhousePlaceMazda.com. With approved credit, tax, title, license, extra. When financed with Mazda Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires October 31st, 2023. See dealer for details.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Shelter agents Tanya Blaine or Jesse Dunbar in Norfolk or Agent Bud Morrell in Ogallala.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we are born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
That's what it sounds like when a farmer opens a bag of Pioneer brand A-Series soybeans. But not just any farmer. The type who expects nothing less than the absolute best. Who sees our 3 bushel per acre edge over XtendFlex and gets excited about how big of a yield advantage they'll have at harvest. Pioneer brand A-Series soybeans. #1 for a reason. Visit pioneer.com/advantage.
This is Big Red Football.
We can
to tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town, choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Did you know that Lincoln's water is 4 times more hard than what is recommended? This will shorten the life of your water heater, harm pipes through mineral buildup, and is bad for your hair, skin, and clothes. What's the solution? A water softener. Go online to jhlincoln.com to learn more about water softeners and our flexible financing offers, or call John Henry's
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back, Memorial Stadium. Huskers getting ready to take on the Northwestern Wildcats, the battle of the NUs here today. Time now to give you our Nebraska soybean starting lineups. Let's start with the black shirts who are coming off such a great performance in Champaign 2 weeks ago. Up front, Nash Hutmaker, who some would say is maybe the MVP of the defense in the first 6 games of the season, has a sack and a half. Half a sack for Ty Robinson, and Jamari Butler up to 3 sacks now in the year for 10, playing some good football for the Big Red. MJ Sherman will be the jack. The linebackers will be Nick Henrich with a couple of sacks, and John Bullock, who has 1 sack on the year. Safeties, Isaac Gifford, the leading tackler on the black shirts with 38 tackles on the year. We'll be joined by Omar Brown. The corners will be Malcolm Hartzog and Quentin Newsom, coming off of his first INT of his career, happened against Illinois. Now for the offense, making his 31st start at left tackle, Turner Corcoran. Ethan Piper's 27th start at left guard. Ben Scalabay to center. Mary Newili will be the right guard. The right tackle, Bryce Benhart, start number 36 for Bryce. Tight end, Thomas Fedoni, 12 catches, 3 for scores. We'll see a lot of Nate Borkature out there as well. Wide receivers, Billy Kent, 20 catches, 1 for a touchdown. Also has run for a score this year. Alex Bullock, 7 catches with a touchdown, and Malachi Coleman had his first career Husker catch in the Illinois game. At quarterback, Heinrich Harburg, the sophomore, completing 52% of his passes, 4 touchdowns, 2 INTs, leading rusher on the team for the Big Red, 352 yards, 3 scores. It will be Emmett Johnson getting the first start of his Husker career at the running back spot. Emmett, 44 yards on the ground, also has a couple of catches on the year. A Nebraska farm fact for you. Nebraska soybeans are an innovative alternative to petroleum in many everyday products. We'll step aside, get our final break in, come back with a tunnel walk, the coin toss, and get this thing underway. The Huskers and the Wildcats coming up next.
On the Huskers Radio Network.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair...
Conducted by Director of Bands Dr. Carolyn Barber. By executive order of the Commander-in-Chief, all active duty military personnel in civilian attire and military veterans are authorized to maintain their cover and render a proper hand salute. The colors are being presented by a full joint color guard and commanded by midshipmen from the Navy ROTC program.
Band's traditional pregame salute to the fans in all 4 stadiums begins with the well-known football classic, Mr. Touchdown, USA. With the majestic strains of March Grandioso. Then let's all chant the letters of Nebraska with March of the Cornhuskers. Nebraska Zone, Hail Varsity!
And now, the projected starting lineup for your Nebraska Cornhuskers. Presented by J-Tech Construction and Solar. On the offense, Turner Corcoran, Ethan Piper, Ben Scott, Nuri Nuwili, Bryce Bryce Benhart. Receivers. At tight end, Nate Borkercher. At slot receiver, Billy Kemp IV. At wideout, Alex Bullock. Malachi Coleman. In the backfield, at fullback, Janiron Bonner. At running back, Emmett Johnson. And at quarterback, Heinrich Harber. The defense, Ty Robinson. Nash Hutmaker. Jamari Butler. Linebackers, M.J. Sherman. Luke Reimer. Isaac Gifford. John Bullock. The secondary, Quinton Newsom. Malcolm Hartzog. Phelan Sanford. Tommy Hill. The specialists. At kicker, Tristan Alvano. At long snapper, Marco Ortiz. And at punter, Brian Buscini.
And those who have died have not died in vain. They've died to make the world safe for democracy. They've swept to victory in the war to end war.
It's University of Nebraska Football. And now we switch direct to Memorial Stadium.
This year, our account of the game is an exclusive feature of the Coast to Coast NBC network.
Yep, you can clear the track as the Big Red's back.
And this Nebraska team is fired up.
It's going to be a full house this afternoon, and that's a thing of, a thing of regularity.
Holy moly! Man, woman, and child did that. Put them in the aisles.
And the crowd, what a ball game they've seen this afternoon.
Memorial Stadium in Lincoln is a thing to behold. There is nothing like it.
Here is the option left by Eric Crouch. He's to the 25, Crouch to the 20, 10, 5, he's gone, touchdown!
And you think of a better place to be than Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska on a college football Saturday? Now, this is college football.
Huskers!
The head. The eagle is tails. Northwestern, you're the visitor. You want heads or tails? Heads. He called heads. And it is a head. Northwestern won the toss. Northwestern won the toss. They defer their choice to the second half. Nebraska will receive. They will defend the south goal. Gentlemen, have a good game.